già volta. Già volta. Ngambil la volta habis.
Baru.
Dipende se direi che
mana?
Baik. Bisa. Abu, in case you have a good decide.
Let me first find my information, then I can tell you when I'm ready.
No, I'm coming.
Of the country. What you're seeing on the screen is what we earlier on talked about yesterday, about the president allowing the distribution of food items to different Ugandans that have been affected by the COVID-19. Now, from the president's directives yesterday, we do know there is a lockdown in the country, and this has affected millions of Ugandans who can now not access food. And for this particular reason, the government has decided actually to distribute some food items to the vulnerable people within the country. And maybe to just set the record straight, this is happening outside the office of the Prime Minister, the pictures you're seeing right now, and they will be setting off to Waise, which is going to be the very first district to receive the food items from the government. Waise people, you should be ready to receive the food anytime from now, and this will include some maize flour, some beans and salt. And of course, for the young people and the older people, they said that they will be able to give them some milk. Well, moving on, there are a number of government officials that are present today. We can see the Minister of Security, Eli Tumwine, among others that are present today, and also the Minister of Finance is is also there to maybe to oversee how the situation is going on today.
Your distance from to who? What distance, please? Mind your distance from the other person.
A very good morning to you who is watching us from wherever you are. What you are seeing here, we're coming to you live from Nile Avenue, and if you know Parliament or probably Serena, this is the route that leads you to these two places. But what you see now on screen, the Prime Minister has arrived and he's going to be flagging off food that is going to be distributed to 1.5 million vulnerable people in Kampala and Wakiso districts starting today. Of course, this was an initiative that was put forward by the President after the 14-day lockdown, and of course the considerations that were made were for people who are living on a daily budget. Let's listen to what the Prime Minister is saying.
Therefore, today, my great pleasure on behalf of His Excellency the President, government, and people of Uganda to launch the food distribution program that is starting with dealing with the vulnerable people in Kampala, and this day we are going to Bwaise, where we are going to start the exercise, and the rest of Kampala will be handled within the next few days. We would like as many of you as possible to support this program, and indeed the reason why this program has been put in place is to respond to those who have been badly hit, badly impacted by the measures taken by government in order to stop the COVID-19 pandemic. And these are people who have been earning daily money to feed themselves, and because of restricted movement, they cannot do so, and yet they must continue to live as respectable Ugandans. So this is a response by government to that vulnerable group. We know the vulnerable group is not only in Kampala, there are other areas as well. Government is looking at them, but because of the urgency of the matter, we have deliberately decided to start with Kampala because it has got the highest concentration of these vulnerable people. The focus will be also on making sure that the elderly, the sick, and the pregnant women are taken into account. And by the way, the food is going to be distributed house to house, door to door, and there should be no lining at all. There should be no crowding at all. As soon as there is any semblance of crowding, food distribution will stop. So I appeal to all those concerned to be disciplined and to make sure that this food distribution exercise does not cause the spread of the pandemic, of the virus, but on the contrary, helps to bring it to a permanent end. all of us have a responsibility, have a role to play, to educate, to sensitize, and to lead by example of making sure that we respect social distance, which is being violated by quite a number of... That's why we should really quickly disperse.
Journalists don't care.
Yes. And please take heed of what His Excellency the President and the Honorable Minister of Health and medical teams have been telling you. Always washing your hands with soap, using sanitizers. The two are complementary. Make sure you keep the social distance. Make sure you avoid any overcrowding. If there is a suspected person who you think may have a problem, handle him or her well and advise him to approach the people concerned, that's the health sector. In case there is a question mark, ask the leaders, LC leaders and the chiefs will be able to help in such a situation. Finally, let us discuss. Ndugu Musa, you must have some quick guidelines that you want to give out and to summarize how food is going to be distributed. We would like absolute transparency, absolute accountability, and anybody who tampers with accountability or who tampers with transparency will be provoking the wrath of the law to take its course. Ndugu Musa.
Right, Honorable, like you correctly guided, I don't think there is anything to add. The truth is that we are now flagging off. We are test running this exercise today in Guaise. Why test run? Because it has never, right, Honorable, it has never happened anywhere like this before, where relief distribution is handled by our partners, the security forces, and all the other groups. So it is going, I can assure the country that there will never be crowding because the arrangement is such that door to door, like you have correctly emphasized, and that is going to be emphasized to the letter. So, Mr. Prime Minister, without wasting a lot of time, I am happy that you have come with all these distinguished leaders to flag this off, First Deputy, Secretary General of the party, and all the generals who are here. Of all the political parties, I'm so happy that you have been here to witness this very noble intervention. Mr. Prime Minister, we are sending this to Buaise. We are loading in the afternoon for some of the orphanages because they are critically in need, the orphanages within Kampala and Wakiso area. We'll again invite the media, not in this big number, but to break themselves into smaller groups so that they can give adequate coverage to all these interventions. Mr. Prime Minister, I want to commit the office that this will succeed. This will succeed. I thank you so much. And I want
Thank you so much. Two additional remarks. Hospitals in Uganda, all the hospitals are going to be covered by the food distribution. All the hospitals in the country are going to be covered by this food. And orphanages as well. And barracks will be also covered. So, on that note, it's my great pleasure. The quantities and other details, Mr. Cheru will give them to you. Mr. Cheru is in charge. The overall person who is in charge is going to be, Eric Rumine, to make sure that there is maximum coordination. So, it's my great pleasure to formally flag off the trucks carrying food for the people of Uganda who are vulnerable. there is something
And of course, they did mention that all hospitals this food. Of course, there are some people who are still donating here, and we will take a look at what is happening now, and you can see for yourself.
Social distance.
And I formed the foundation, which is our foundation. It has been according substantial charity to different organizations. And in this emergency, they mobilize 100 million shillings towards food relief. Ordinary Ugandans can't afford food at this moment in time. Like the president said, this is the time to be cowards. Please, I would advise you to follow the presidential directive and stay home. Like the going says, that cowards live long enough to tell stories of the foreign brave. Please, there is no shame in being a coward now. Stay home, but for all of you Ugandans, my fellow Ugandans that God has really blessed, please take this opportunity and get part of the little you've saved. I know we are all not doing well because this was started, but please get what you can and give towards our fellow Ugandans for survival.
We accept this and we thank him. He's setting a good example. There is a COVID response fund which has been opened by His Excellency the President. The account is in Stanbic Bank, and details will be given to you by the Permanent Secretary, Office of the Prime Minister, Christine Guatde. So get ready, pour money there to help the poor of Uganda who are vulnerable. Can we?
The money is here. And brought the money.
Okay. The money. Okay. This is good enough.
Pictures of the money.
Can we have only 2 questions so that we discuss?
Before we do that, sir, Mr. Prime Minister, the PS is also going to receive some walkie-talkies to enable us to do our work. And this is kind donation from.
Okay. Yes, receive them, please.
Yes.
Okay. Announce your name so that people know. You are who?
Samanga Solutions in-country partner for Motorola.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Can we expand?
Giving radios
To enforce the distance, we are setting a very, very example. There is one condition. We can accept 2 questions if there is social distance. No, you can go that way. Yes, somebody at the back with a question.
They demand that I give it to you if possible.
Thank you very much, friends.
Know this place very well. This is Serena Hotel, and the other side is Parliament. And of course, what was happening here is the first batch of the food items that are going to be, or food relief that is going to be delivered to 1.5 million people. And this is just part of it, by the way. And like the Minister for Disaster and Preparedness said, this is like a test run, really, and they are going to start from Bwaise. Each family is going to receive 6 kilograms of posho and 3 kilograms of beans, and lactating mothers will be given an extra powdered milk. But of course, what we will not miss is also that each family will receive a pack of salt as part of the food relief items that are going to be delivered to people. And these, they say, are the vulnerable people, especially who have been living in what you could describe as a hand-to-mouth budget, or they can only provide food on a daily basis. If they don't work, then they don't have food. Of course, this is day 5 of the 14-day lockdown, and these interventions are basically to help some of the people that are greatly affected by this lockdown. The Prime Minister does emphasize that you stay home if you really can stay home, and these food items will be distributed at local council 1 level, of course with the close supervision of the police and the army. We have seen everybody who was here. The task force team for the COVID-19 outbreak is a really comprehensive one that has the army, it has the police, it has the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, and all the other relative ministries, and particularly here in Kampala, the Ministry for Kampala is also part of the team. Today we have also seen the representation from party secretary generals. That is, all political parties had a representation from their secretary generals as part of the team that is going to, carry out this relief distribution, and the food items will be distributed in your homes. The Minister for Disaster Preparedness also made it clear that if there is any gathering anywhere, or if they receive information that there is gatherings anywhere to receive this food relief, it will be stopped with immediate effect.
Thank you so much, Walter Mwesije, for bringing us the official flagging of the food distribution that is happening today in the country in regards to the President's directive that has seen so many people affected by the lockdown. Well, I won't be able to add as much because Walter Mwesije has summarized almost everything, but what you should know that they are starting in Waise, and of course they'll spread to other parts of the country, before other parts of Kampala, before they go to other parts of the country. People will be given some maize flour, some salt, and the lactating mothers will be given some milk, not forgetting some beans. Well, thank you for joining us. I'm now going to hand you over to T-Nation.
Kuba kukona wetu kanti kuta